Hi everyone, welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks, you may want to use them as well as a strap, and let's begin in child's pose, coming down onto our knees and bringing the inner edges of our feet together. Let's actively stretch the arms forward here as you rest your forehead on the ground or on a prop. And let's take a moment to physically and mentally arrive in our yoga practice. Start to tune into how you're feeling in your body, in your mind, in your energy. Sensing anything you need to acknowledge, address through this practice today. And then as you slide your hands back towards your outer knees, drop your chin towards your chest, and with an inhale, slowly roll your spine upright. Please find a comfortable seat. Here's a quote by Paramahansa Yogananda. Proper visualization by the exercise of concentration and willpower enables us to materialize thoughts not only as dreams or visions in the mental realm, but also as experiences in the material realm. The power of visualization. That is the power of your third eye energy center, brow center, also called Ajna chakra. Visualization is like a muscle. It's something that we need to practice in order to become more proficient at. And as we become more proficient at using our imagination to create mentally, then we can become more proficient in calling in those things, as we're talking about what do you want to manifest in the new year as we're transitioning towards 2022. Before anything else, take a look around your environment where you are sitting. Take in whatever colors, textures, and forms that are here. Not only visually orienting yourself to your space, but also notice any reactions you have mentally, emotionally, viscerally, as you look at things around you. Notice if anything strikes your fancy. Notice if anything creates a sense of aversion. And notice if it's just neutral, there's no reaction. Kind of like what we do when we're sitting in meditation and mindfulness and observing the thoughts come and go. Notice your reaction right now as you're looking around. Does anything make you smile when you look at it? So now, as these visual stimuli externally might create reactions internally, well, we'll sit in the meditation at the end of opening up our bodies, minds, and breath through asana, and we'll do the opposite. We'll start from the inside out, visualizing to manifest. So as you sit tall here now, maybe bring your palms to meet at your heart and take a moment to choose something you'd like to focus on today in this practice. Maybe it's a mantra, a positive affirmation. Maybe it's a feeling that you want to cultivate or a quality you want to elicit and strengthen about yourself. Take a moment to set your intention. And as well, choose someone or something that you might also dedicate this practice to, taking our yoga beyond our individual selves. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, any sound that might want to move through you. In through the nose, a little deeper. Start to fill up your belly. Out through the mouth, any sound. One more breath like that on your own. And let's send out the energy of that intention, as well as feel it resonate within you through the vibration of sound, chanting 3 ohms together. Empty this breath. Take a deep inhale. Round 2, breathe in. Last time, inhale. Bow in towards your heart center. And let's begin to practice long, even breaths through the nose, softly whispering it, using Ujjayi pranayama. Keeping your breath rhythmic, steady, and with ease, please make your way into a standing forward fold right up at the top of your mat, in which you might want to place your 2 blocks to frame your outer feet. Separate your feet hips width apart at least and parallel them as you bend your knees generously here so that your belly can easily rest on your thighs. And choose your variation of the forward fold. You might want to sway the spine, whether you let the arms hang and shake out the head, helping to loosen up your neck and shoulders. Or if you're needing a more active opening in the front of the shoulders, you could clasp your hands behind your back or hold a strap between the hands and stretch your arms forward breath by breath. Feel the depth of your inhalation. Feel the cleansing effect of your exhalation, all through the nose. Place your hands on the outsides of your feet, on blocks or the floor, and step the left knee behind you to the ground. Inhale, look up, coil your chest up, drop the shoulders behind you. And as you exhale, begin to straighten the right leg, lifting the ball of the foot flexed. Bow to the inside of it in half split. Let's turn this into a breath-led movement. Inhale, bend the front knee and set the foot down. Look up, coil your chest open. Exhale, scissor your right hip back to straighten the leg. Lift the ball of the foot and bow. 3 more cycles with a breath. Inhale, kneeling lunge, coil the chest up. Exhale, half split, bow forward. Inhale, kneeling lunge, coil your chest up. Exhale, half split, bow forward. Last round, inhale, kneeling lunge, coil your chest up. Exhale, half split, bow forward. And this time, tuck the back toes in a high lunge. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head towards your front wall. Exhale, step your left foot beside the right in a forward fold, top of the mat. Half sun salutation, press your legs to the ground. Inhale, stretch your chest towards your front wall. Feel the belly activate. Exhale, bow in. From down through your feet, inhale, circle your arms apart. Rise to stand and let your palms meet overhead. Look up. And as though blessing your energy centers, trace your palms from your crown down the center line of your body to the base of your spine. Inhale, circle your arms and look up. Palms meet in prayer. This time, exhale, bow forward. Feel a sense of a flat back. Press your legs to the ground. Inhale, stretch the chest towards the front wall. Place your hands alongside your feet on blocks or the floor and step the right knee behind you to a kneeling lunge. As you inhale here, peel your shoulders behind you and lift your sternum as you look up. Exhale, lift the ball of your left foot flex and straighten the front leg to your degree as you bow. Breath-led movement. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Coil your chest up. Exhale, straighten the front leg and bow. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Gentle back bend, gaze up. Exhale, half split, bow forward. 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale, lunge, look up. Exhale, half split, bow forward. Inhale, lunge, look up. Exhale, half split, bow forward. This time, tuck the toes behind you, come into a high lunge and stretch the top of your head towards the front wall. Exhale, step the right foot to the top of your mat and bow forward. Press the ground of your legs. Inhale, stretch your sternum towards the front wall. Feel the belly lift. Exhale, bow from your hips. From down to your feet, inhale, circle your arms apart. Rise to the top, watch your palms meet. Exhale, bring your thumbs down the center of your body into mountain pose. Let's begin. Sun salutation A. Inhale, circle your arms up, look up. Bowing from your hips, exhale, forward folds. Press the ground or your legs. Inhale, stretch the top of your head forward, glide the shoulders back. Plant your hands on the floor. Let's start with knees on the ground in plank. Knees right under your hips, wrists right under your shoulders. Let's take a few breaths here. Spread your fingers wide. Point your index fingers forward or slightly turn them out. And lift your belly towards your back as you draw your sternum towards the front wall. Keep this lift in the belly, the length of your neck, by gazing forward on the ground. And on a slow exhale, glide forward before you start to bend your elbows. Keep going, bend your elbows to hug your side ribs. Feel them bend 90 degrees, that's Chaturanga Dandasana. Then slowly lower your torso to the ground. With your legs straight back, actively firm the tops of your feet on the earth. Hug your elbows close to your ribs. And inhale, peel your shoulder bones behind you and down as you open the chest. Look on the floor ahead, cobra pose. Tucking your toes, press up through hands and knees. Engage your belly to lift your hips high and back, entering downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths on this first one. Feel free to shift around if you need to move your body here. Then bending your knees in downward dog, lift your heels and hips high, look forward past your hands. Empty your breath, then walk or lightly float your feet to the front of your mat, forward folds. Press the ground or your legs. Inhale, look forward and lengthen your spine towards a flat back. Exhale, bow again. From down to your feet, inhale, sweep the arms apart, then let them meet overhead as you look up. Exhale, trace your thumbs down your center line, mountain pose. Keep going this time, one breath each movement. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, circle your arms up high. Exhale, bow down. Press with your hands. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Step into plank. Maybe this time you straighten the legs and firm the heels back. Exhale, glide forward. Raise your elbows by your ribs through Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's come all the way down again. Press the tops of your feet down as you draw the shoulder bones back and lift your chest, Cobra. Tucking your toes, engage your belly and press the ground with your hands, lifting your hips back. Downward dog for 3 breaths. Now let's let the body be still. The practice of visualization is related to the 6th limb of yoga, dharana, which is Sanskrit for concentration. And we build concentration during the physical practice. Like right now, as we steady the gaze and Steady the breath and still the body. Now with bent knees, look ahead of your hands, empty your breath, then walk or softly jump to the front of your mat. Forward fold, press your legs to the ground. Inhale, stretch the top of your head forward. Exhale, fold in. From down through your feet, inhale, sweep your arms to rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, trace your thumbs down your center. Let's keep going. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Press the ground to your legs. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Either step into your plank or float into chaturanga, landing with elbows bent 90 degrees. Lower all the way or flip your toes at chaturanga and coil the chest into upward facing dog. Engage your belly to lift your tailbone up and back to downward facing dog. Let's pause, re-steady the gaze and breath, still the body, about 3 breaths. Bending your knees, empty your breath, then walk or lightly jump to the top. Inhale, press with your hands and stretch your spine forward. Exhale, bow forward. Press to your feet, inhale, sweep your arms overhead, rising to stand. Exhale, bring your hands down your center. From here, bring your hands to your hips, bend your left knee in front of you and flex the foot. Find your balance here by leveling out your 2 hips and drawing your lower belly towards your back and slightly up towards your heart. How's your breathing? Set your gaze on the floor, maybe just a few feet in front of your mat, and begin to press your left heel towards the back wall, moving through Warrior 3. Lift the belly in, draw the crown of your head forward, feel the center line of your body, and step the left foot slowly to the rear of your mat, entering Warrior 2. Spinning the heel down, align your front heel to the arch of your back foot and open your arms wide. As you bend the front knee right on top of the ankle, press the outside edge of your left foot into the ground. Turning the right thigh open, wrap the outer hip underneath you and firm the top of your left thigh bone back towards you. And then feel your spine from the bottom up. Visualize breathing into it. From the tailbone at the root energy center, up each vertebra, and eventually out through the crown. Two more breaths here in Virabhadrasana 2. With arms wide open, fingers together, feel the energy reaching through your fingertips beyond your skin. Keep expanding and straighten your right leg for triangle. Glide your hips sideways towards the back wall as you reach your right hand way past the right knee, then set it down onto your right leg or just to the right of your leg, maybe on a block. Keep hugging the right hip towards you as you firm the belly in and rotate your chest slightly to face the sky. And if it feels okay on your neck, gaze up past your left thumb. Draw your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Lengthen the right side of your torso. And keep spreading wide across your arms, taking 3 more breaths here in Trikonasana. Rotate your left outer upper arm to face your left wall. So that's an external rotation of your upper arm bone. And sweep your left arm overhead. Draw the shoulders away from the neck still. Feel this extension through the left side of your body. Extended triangle pose. Look at your right foot and lower your left hand on the left side of that ankle, framing your right ankle with 2 hands on blocks or the floor, pivot the left foot to face forward and step it 1/3 forward to a shorter stance. Separate your feet sideways, hips distance, and lower the back heel. With both your hips facing forward, inhale, lift your crown towards the front wall. Engage the belly here. Tack the right hip back slightly and exhale, begin to bow into pyramid pose. One more breath here in Parsvottanasana. Turning this into a twist, lift your chest so that your spine parallels the floor. You might use your right hand to press your outer right hip back, keeping your 2 hips even in height. Stretch the crown of your head forward, pressing the shoulders away from your neck. Breathe in. At your waistline, exhale, begin to twist to your right, turning your rib cage. Breath by breath, raise your right arm up, and now you're in revolved triangle pose. Optional if your balance feels pretty stable and you want to take this further into the twist, to place your left hand on the right side of your front foot. Remember, you could use a block. Let's take 3 more breaths here. In Parita Trikonasana. Look down at your right foot, inhale. Exhale, frame it again with 2 hands, and this time step the left foot to meet the right and folds. Press your legs to the ground, inhale, stretch the top of your head forward, rising halfway. Exhale, folds. From down to your feet, inhale, circle your arms, rising all the way, palms meet. Exhale, trace your thumbs down your center to mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your right knee in front of you as you flex the foot. Take a moment to feel balance of your left and right hips. Draw your navel in and up, standing a little taller with each breath. Set your eyes on one spot just ahead of your mat and begin to press your inner right heel back towards your rear wall while stretching your crown towards your front wall, entering Warrior 3. Now you could bend your left knee any amount if you're feeling tightness in the hamstring. Take your time to very slowly and softly step the right foot to the rear of your mat, spinning the heel down for Warrior 2. Align your left heel to the arch of your right foot and open your arms wide, setting your gaze just past your left hand. Feel your body as you listen to your breath. Bending your left knee right on top of your ankle. Open the thigh towards the pinky toe, hugging the left outer hip in. Press the outside edge of your right foot into the floor, firming the top of your right thigh bone back as you straighten the back leg. Bring your inner gaze from the base of your spine, slowly up, as the breathing up the ladder of each vertebra, creating more space, all the way to your crown. Let your shoulders relax as you reach out through your fingertips, fingers all together. 2 more breaths. Virabhadrasana 2. Straightening your left leg, glide your hips towards your rear wall, reach the left hand forward, then down onto your left leg, or just to the left side of it, maybe on a block. Turning your chest to face the sky, you might gaze up past your right thumb. Feel the stability of your legs as you root down to your feet and activate the muscles in your legs, the muscles in your abdomen. Let's take 3 more breaths here in Trikonasana, triangle pose.
Rotate your right tricep to face your right wall. Externally rotate the upper arm. Sweep your right arm overhead towards your front wall and feel the diagonal line of energy from your outer right foot up the right side of your body out to your right fingertips. Notice your breathing. Extended triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Look down at your left foot. Place your right hand on the right side of that ankle, framing your left ankle with both hands on blocks or the floor. Pivot your right foot to face forward and step it 1/3 forward to a shorter stance. Separate your feet sideways, hips distance, as you ground both feet entirely and turn both hips to face forward. Inhale, stretch the top of your head towards your front wall. Exhale, begin to fold in to pyramid pose. Ardhva. One more breath here. Activate your belly, root down through your feet. Inhale, lift your spine parallel to the ground. Let's prepare to twist. You might place the left hand on your outer left hip and gently tack it back to realign your hips squared or even. Lift or stretch the top of your head towards your front wall as you breathe in, shoulder blades down your back. At your waistline, focus on twisting to your left. So you're turning your rib cage, but not turning your pelvis. Breath by breath here, finding your range of the twist as you raise the left arm in revolved triangle pose. Now, if you did so on the first side, you may want to step the right hand on the left side of your front foot. Remember, you could use a block. Let's take about 4 more breaths in Paritta Trikonasana. Inhale, look down at your left foot. Exhale, frame it with your 2 hands and step the right foot to meet it, forward fold. Let's bring the inner edges of your feet to touch. Bring your knees to touch. Inhale, sit low in chair pose, entering Sun Salutation B. Exhale, bow forward. Press the ground of your legs. Inhale, lift your chest to rise halfway. Step into plank or float into Chaturanga. Taking it all the way through on your own into Cobra or Upward Dog and Downward Facing Dog, your Vinyasa. From there, keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, slowly step the right foot beside your right thumb, spinning your left heel down. Keep your hips facing forward. Inhale, rise up into Warrior One. Exhale, lower into Plank and Chaturanga. Taking your Vinyasa all the way through, we'll meet in Downward Facing Dog. From there, inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, slowly step the foot beside your left thumb, spinning your right heel down, feet hips width apart, face forward and rise on an inhale to Warrior One. Exhale from Plank into Chaturanga Dandasana. Taking your Vinyasa all the way through. At Downward Facing Dog, let's take 3 slow breaths. Body still, eyes steady. Bending your knees, look past your hands and empty your breath. Then walk or lightly jump your feet together at the top. Feet touching, inhale, lift your chest forward, halfway rise. Exhale, fold knees touching. Inhale, sit low towards your heels in chair. Root down through your feet. Exhale, rise up. Hands together at the heart in mountain pose. Let's keep going. 2 more of these. Surya Namaskar Bs. Inhale, sit back into chair pose. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise forward, halfway up. Step back or float into chaturanga. Take your variation of your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Keeping that whisper in your breath. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, step the foot beside your right thumb, back heel flat. Inhale, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. Side two, when you're ready, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, step the foot beside your left thumb. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. At downward dog, 3 deep breaths, recentering here, refocusing. Feel your triceps rotate towards the ground as you broaden across your shoulders and soften the back of your neck. At the end of your third exhalation, hold your breath out as you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Then inhale, lift your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit low in chair pose. Exhale, rise up. Last round, Surya Namaskar B as we flow to the breath. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half fold. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, however you get there. Inhale, Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, 3 breaths in stillness. After the third exhale, walk or float to the top. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale again, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, knees bent, Utkatasana, chair pose. Let's start to lower the pelvis to the ground for Navasana, boat pose, catching the backs of your thighs or extending your arms forward, knees bent or legs straight. Let's turn this into a vinyasa flow. You can place your hands on the floor as well if you want to vary this. Inhale, lift up to your chest. Exhale, lower halfway down your legs and your torso. Inhale, pause in half boat pose, Ardha Navasana. Exhale, contract your belly, rise up to boat pose, Navasana. Inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale here. Exhale, rise. 3 more rounds of these. Inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale here. Exhale, rise. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, rise. Last round. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, rise. Cross your ankles, plant your hands on blocks or the floor, framing your hips. Take a deep breath in. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your pelvic floor and play with the possibility of lifting your pelvis off the ground. And then when you come back down, one more, switch the cross of your ankles. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor and lift up. And then from here, cross your ankles or slide your knees to one side and come into downward facing dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Notice how you feel. Downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, step the foot beside your right thumb. Stay on the ball of your left foot for a high lunge. Energetically scissor your legs towards each other to feel stability as you rise into crescent lunge. You may want to bend your back knee for a moment
to help you turn your left hip forward and scissor your right hip back, as well as lift your frontal hip bones, drawing the tailbone down. So this idea, or this visceral feeling of feeling centered. Relax the shoulders, maybe the palms meet, and steady your gaze. 3 more breaths. Now, as you bend your elbows apart like a cactus shape, walk your shoulder blades down your back and keep lifting through your crown, though you might bend the front knee deeper. Hug your outer hips towards your midline. Keep that center contained, and at your waistline, like before, turn your rib cage to the right into a spinal twist. So the spine is upright here. Then open up your arms, keep twisting, using no leverage, but purely your obliques, the side muscles of your core, to keep turning into the twist. Notice if your torso starts to lean towards the front of your mat. Lift up through the back of your skull and keep your spine as upright as you can. Maybe you're looking towards your right thumb as we take 2 more breaths in this open twist. Then bring your right hand, press the right outer hip down, stretch your spine down the midline of your mat, and then twist to your right, hooking left elbow outside right thigh, hands in prayer, or placing the left hand on a block or the floor on the left side of your front foot. Right arm could be to the sky. Breath by breath, press back through the left heel, elongate your spine forward, and hug your outer hips towards your midline while continuing to twist. 3 more breaths. Now looking down at the inside of your right foot, place your left hand on the floor so your wrist is directly under your left shoulder. Spread the fingers flat. Set your left knee on the ground. Slide your right foot all the way to the rear of your mat behind your left toes, pressing the right heel down. Raise your right arm to the sky and you're in one variation of side plank. Use the ground to press into and rebound an energetic lift up. Now, another option for this pose is to straighten your bottom leg and step the right foot on the ground flat in front of your left foot. Or flex both of your feet and stack them both. For the last 3 breaths, keep lifting your left hip away from the floor, stacking your wrists, stacking your shoulders like you would in triangle pose. Hug the front ribs in towards your back body. Last breath in. Reach the right arm overhead like we did in extended triangle pose. Lower your right hand to the floor to plank. Take some cat-cows or a vinyasa. Resting anytime you need. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Couple more breaths. From downward dog, keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. As you exhale, step the foot softly beside your left thumb. Stay on the ball of your right foot in a high lunge. Energetically scissor your legs to root down and rise up. Crescent pose. You may want to bend your right knee for a moment as you're setting up at least, helping to scissor your left hip back and bring your right hip forward, lifting your frontal hip bones and drawing your tailbone down to feel literal centeredness. Maybe the palms meet, maybe you look up. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Now keep hugging your outer hips towards your midline. Bend your elbows apart and slide your shoulders down, lifting through your crown. Perhaps bend the front knee a little deeper. Take a breath in here, and at your waistline, exhale, begin to twist to your left, keeping your spine upright. Then open your arms wide and continue to breathe in, lengthen through both ends of your spine.
Breathe out, hug your hips towards your midline and keep twisting. 3 more breaths. If your torso is starting to lean towards your front wall, back out of the twist a little bit so you can bring the spine more perpendicular to the ground. Then bring your left hand to your left outer hip. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, twist to the left, hooking right elbow outside of left thigh, hands in prayer, or placing the right hand on a block or the floor to the right side of your front foot. Firm back through your inner right heel. Lengthen forward through your crown. As you firm your outer hips towards each other, keep your hips leveled and continue to twist for 3 more breaths. Look down at your left foot. Place your right hand on the floor on the inside of it so your wrist lands just beneath your right shoulder. Spread the fingers wide. Lower your right knee to the floor and step your left foot all the way to the rear of your mat, flat. Reach the left arm up and you're in one variation of Vashisthasana, side plank. If you took a different variation on the first side, see if you can come into it here. Whether you straighten the right leg, flexing the right foot, leaning on the entire outer edge of it, stepping the left foot flat on the ground in front of the right foot, or flexing both feet and stacking them both. Keep lifting your right hip away from the floor and stacking your left hip just above the right. Extend the left arm overhead for 1 more breath, drawing the shoulders down your back. Slowly lower the left hand, optional vinyasa or cat-cow or child's pose. Where you land, let's take 3 deep breaths. Observe what's present for you here. Mind, body. From downward dog, bring your feet together to touch. Walk your toes forward another 5 inches closer to your hands and bend your knees, lift your heels and hips as high as you can. Look about 2 feet ahead of your hands on the floor. Visualize sliding your legs through your arms, coming lightly to sit. Maybe it takes walking there, maybe it takes floating there. After you visualize, see what action is reasonable for you to play with. And once you're there, take a block with you, step your feet on the ground, and hug the skinniest width of the block between your knees or thighs. Separate your feet as wide apart as your knees, parallel the feet. Extend your arms forward with the palms face up, shoulders relaxed, and take a few breaths to slowly, very slowly lower onto your back.
When these bones are only bones.
And when your head eventually meets the ground, arms by your sides, slide your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. Hugging the block, ground your shoulders and feet, prepare to lift your hips for a count of 5 to 10 breaths in bridge pose. When you're ready, lift your pelvis, stretch the fronts of your thighs forward, tilt your chin back slightly away from your chest, and walk your upper arms closer together beneath your back ribs. Keeping your arms straight. If your hands meet, you might interlace your fingers. So count your 5 to 10 breaths, and when you're ready to come down, use an exhalation to slowly lower onto your back. And you can keep the block between your thighs If you want to use it again for our next back bend, whether that be bridge pose or upward facing bow, hands alongside the ears. If you normally practice that, you can take the ladder, stick your second back bend out of 3 on your own for 5 to 10 breaths. When you lower onto your back, separate your feet on the floor wider than hips distance and drop your knees together to touch, placing your left hand at the middle of your chest, heart energy center, your right hand at your lower belly, sacral energy center. Let's take 3 deep breaths as you're resting. Last back bend, let's turn over onto the belly for upward bow pose. Excuse me, just regular bow pose. So roll onto your belly, bring your forehead to the floor, and slide your knees as close together as you can. Then bend your knees, reach back with your hands. You might start by catching your outer feet. If that feels pretty accessible and you want a little more challenge, catch your inner feet. Press your pubic bone down into the ground and kick your feet back as you pull your feet towards your glutes, lifting your knees. Keep them no wider than hips distance apart. Coil your chest open. And you're here for your count of 5 to 10 breaths. Last back bend. Dhanurasana, bow pose. And once you've let it go, please slide into child's pose with arms extended forward for an active lower back stretch. Come on up to sit, bringing your legs in front of you for a seated twist. Start by extending your left leg forward and either step your right foot in front of your right hip or cross it outside of your left knee. You might bend your left knee too. Ground your 2 sitting bones and lift up to your spine, shoulders down. Backstroke your right hand to the floor behind your pelvis and raise your left arm. Press into the ground even with the sole of your right foot and sit up a little taller as you breathe in. Twist to your right as you breathe out, and either hold your right shin with your left arm or hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh and keep twisting, breath by breath. 3 more breaths here. As you breathe out, unwind your spine. And let's switch sides. Straighten the right leg forward. Step the left foot in front of the hip or outside the right knee. Maybe also bend your right knee. Try to do the same version. Left hand behind your pelvis, right arm up. Press down, lift up, inhale. To your left, exhale, twist. Lower your right arm or hook your elbow. About 4 more breaths. Emptying your breath completely. Let's bring the soles of your feet together in bound angle pose. And if you're feeling pretty open in the external rotation of your thighs and you want a little more sensation here, you could put a block between the soles of your feet.
as wide as you like here. And then sit up tall for a moment, ground the sitting bones, open your throat, open your chest, relax the shoulders down, and keep them relaxed. As you're bowing, imagine that you have a flat back, so maintain that openness in the throat. 5 breaths.
Lift from your chest, inhale, slowly rise up.
Let's straighten the left leg forward, bring the sole of your right foot high onto your inner left thigh. We'll take revolved head to knee pose. So place your left hand on the outside of the left hip, right arm up. Sit up tall by grounding the pelvis, breathe in. Twist to your left side and then fold diagonally in that direction to the outside of your left leg. You might catch your outer left foot. You might be holding a strap around the ball of it. Ground your right sitting bone here. As we're opening up into that right lower back area, you might visualize breathing into it. 3 more breaths. Keep sending the shoulders away from your neck. Activate the belly, inhale, slowly rise up. And let's take side 2 in Parita Janushirshasana. Right leg forward, flex the foot. Left foot high on the inner right thigh. Place the right hand beside your right hip. Left arm up. Breathe in, root down to rise up. Exhale, twist to your right and bow in that direction.
Catching your outer right foot, possibly. Ground your left sitting bone. Breathe into the left side of your lower back. 3 more breaths. Start to lift your chest. Inhale, slowly rise up.
And let's prepare for Paschimottanasana, straightening both legs. Now you could use a strap around the balls of your feet, or you could eventually clasp your big toes with your index and middle fingers. If you're not using a strap, let's begin with the arms up. Ground your sitting bones, lift up through the spine, relax the shoulders, take a deep breath. Keep flexing your feet and exhale, bow, reaching your chest. Imagine reaching it past the space between your big toes. Now, if it's reachable without rounding the back, you could clasp your big toes and bend the elbows apart. Try to add a little bit of a back bend where you're lifting the chest and rolling the shoulders behind the ears and down. Let's take 4 more breaths. Lift from the chest, inhale, slowly rise up. And let's find a comfortable seat for a short pranayama practice of alternate nostril breathing. So in this practice of Nadi Shodhana, we're helping to balance the left and right hemispheres of the body and the brain. Neural integration. It's a grounding breathing technique that helps us to become more relaxed and aware of our subtle energy body, getting out of the mind, into the body and into the spirit realm. So sit tall, relax the shoulders. You might eventually focus your inner gaze right between the eyebrows at the middle of the forehead, where Ajna chakra sits, the area of your third eye center, the pineal gland region. Rest your left hand on your lap, maybe bring the thumb and first finger to touch to help you focus. Place your right hand in the mudra of Vishnu Mudra. That's sticking out your right thumb, your right pinky finger, your right ring finger. The right thumb will be used to close the right nostril when you either inhale or exhale through the left nostril. The right ring and pinky finger will be used to close the left nostril when you either inhale or exhale through the right nostril. So we're just breathing through the nose, very slow, soft breaths. So empty this breath completely. Hold it out. Right thumb covers right nostril. Inhale through the left about 6 counts. Hold the breath in about 3 counts. Cover the left nostril. Exhale through right. 6 counts. Hold it out, 3 counts. Inhale right, 6 counts. Hold it in, 3 counts. Cover right, exhale left, 6 counts. Hold it out, 3 counts. And that finishes the first cycle. Beginning cycle 2, inhale left. Hold it in. Cover left, exhale right. Hold it out. Inhale right. Hold it in. Cover right. Exhale left. Hold it out. Third round, inhale left. Hold it in. Cover left. Exhale right. Hold it out. Inhale right. Hold it in. Cover right. Exhale left. Hold it out. Round 4, continue on your own for 2 more rounds, a total of 5. Take your time, finishing at your own pace, and when you do finish, sit for a moment and observe, breathing naturally. Now you might keep your eyes closed. As you're ready, begin to lower your body into your final resting pose, Shavasana. We'll be there for 5 minutes. And I'll be playing some singing bowls, so changing the audio settings. If you can't hear my voice as well, you might want to turn up the volume on your device.
As you continue to lie still in corpse pose, sense
anything that may have shifted for you during this practice. And as you keep paying attention, especially on a more subtle layer, begin to move your fingers and your toes, starting with small ways to come out of stillness. Graduating into a stretch, perhaps into turning over to your right side. Gently make your way up into a comfortable seat for our 5 minutes of our visualization meditation, a practice of dharana, of concentration. So make sure that you are comfortable, you can feel grounded and relaxed in the position you're sitting in. One way to help focus is to bring the thumb and first fingers to touch, palms face down or palms face up. You can either close your eyes or steady a soft gaze ahead. And let's begin this visualization practice, centering on what it is that you are creating space for in the new year. What are you inviting in? Can you pinpoint one thing and begin to imagine what that looks like when it comes to being? See the details of that fruition. Who's there? What's there? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What do you hear? What does it feel like? How does it affect your breathing, your body? Sense it in all ways that you can, as though it's happening right now. Continue to focus on that which you're creating. Keep visualizing. Let your senses immerse in that actualization. see it into being. Then allow a deep inhalation to fill all the way up from the pit of your belly all the way to your brow center. Exhaling. Let's bring the palms to meet at the heart. Bowing. Remember that visualization is a practice, just like the rest of yoga is a practice. It takes repeated action to refine and to become more proficient at. And that whatever you focus on repeatedly, you expand into your reality. Let's close this practice, joining our voices in one Om. Empty this breath. Deeply inhale. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.